All right, welcome race fans. Here we are tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the final event, 70 lap points race. This is TurnLeftTV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. I'm going to be bringing you the action here. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, 70 laps points race, short track style. We've had 2 heat races. Ed Palumbo and Travis Joyner are going to start on the front row for the 70 lap points race. We're currently in the warm-up session for the final event. Waiting on some guys here to join up. We've had to do a little server switch here, just checking for stability of the server. So we're going to get things set up for our final event here for the High Octane Racing League Friday Night Series. This is the development league here at StockCarSimRacing.com, the High Octane Racing League Development League. High Octane Racing League races twice a week. Fridays and Saturdays. Friday nights, the Development League, and that's what we're in now. Format, we've gone through 2 heat races. Travis Joyner won the first heat race. Ed Palumbo finished in the first position in the second heat race, so they're going to be the front row for race number 3, and that's the finale. And it has been an action-packed set of heat races, no doubt. Guys are still coming in. Hang on one second. All right, we are in warm-up, and we're following the 2080 Travis Joyner. We're getting ready to go to qualifications here, and this is going to be qualifications for positions 3 on back here. So remember that the front row is going to be Ed Palumbo and Travis Joyner. Tim Lansbury, we're going to follow his car here as he makes his qualification attempt, qualifying for 3rd place on back here in the main event. I'll tell you what, at this track, we're going to ride along here and follow Tim Lansbury. I'm going to shut down the overlay here because I want to show you the track that we're going to be racing this evening. Give you a few specifics on that. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, we used to call it Loudon. 1.058 mile oval. Long straightaways, tight turns, flat track. Banking in the turns is varies from 2 degrees to 7 degrees. So variable banking. And I don't have it up here, but the banking through the turns, you see there's a 1 degree banking. It is banked a little bit. And 65 feet wide, 65 foot wide straightaways and turns, and then the 60 foot wide pit lane, wide pit lane. And we've seen that in these first 2 heat races, that top line is slick, very, very slick. So things happen in a hurry here at this short track, 1 mile short track. Not typically what you'd think of as a length of a short track, but I tell you what, the way that this track's laid out, with it being flat and having these long straightaways and real tight turns gives it a definite short track feel. So watching Tim Lansbury as he makes his laps here, and very solid effort here by Tim. So we're showing Tim Lansbury of maybe winning that effort there. Looks like he might qualify in the 3rd position since he's got won this qualification session. Some more guys here. Here's Terry Kelligrew in the 20 car making his laps. To give you an idea of what we have here as far as the standings are concerned. Current standings here in the Friday Night Series. Ed Palumbo, heat number 2 winner tonight, sits on top in the points. Joe Miller and Tim Lansbury tied for 2nd. Dan Richter's in the 4th position. Jim Barasoff sits in the 5th position. Tom McKeever sits in the 6th position. Todd Robillard is 7th. Bruno Champagne, who I have not seen tonight, is in the 8th position. John Stanley 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is the 49 of Ivan Deschamps. So that's the current point standings. Friday Night Series. Last week, Kentucky Motor Speedway, called Eagle Creek, Todd Robillard, had an excellent race there, captured the victory there on the last lap and a half. Travis Joyner finished 2nd, Ed Palumbo was 3rd. 82 of Tim Lansbury finished 4th. Jim Barasoff rounded out the top 5. We'll take a look at that again as we get into the race here. For those who like to watch race only, skip the warm-up. So a lot of action here on the docket tonight. So we're in the warm-up session. So we finished up qualifications. We'll have about 5 minutes or so of warm-up. In this effort, brought to you tonight by TurnLeftTV. And I'm your host, Heath Johnson. It's my pleasure to bring you the race this evening. This is all part of StockCarSimRacing.com. High Octane Racing League is hosted by StockCarSimRacing.com. They also race the Ironman Racing Series, Next Level Racing Series, Men's Senior Racing League, and also the Oceania NASCAR League, ONL. So I would like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. So right now we're in the driver's information session, the meeting, the the DM, as we call it, the driver's meeting. So we're going to take a look at, let's play around here a little bit. Take a look at Terry's car here. Toyota Camry, AC/DC. Looking at the 51 car here in the garage. These guys are eager. They're sitting in the garage. It's all quiet in the garage. See the 108 of David Rowley. 157 is Jair Oliveira. It is a look at his car. Make our way down the garage area. See that mellow yellow Chevy there. So we go up through the, there we go. 4 car of Joe Miller. Whoops. '28 car there, Travis Joyner. 85, Tom McKeever. 12 of John Stanley. 65 of Dan Richter on board, huh? 82 of Tim Lansbury. 49, Ivan Deschamps. 2 of John Pox. 71 of Jim Barasoff. 90 of Todd Robillard. And the 8X, Robert Martin. New Hampshire. So we lift up the drone. So it looks like gonna get a look at this track here. And I'm like playing around and see how wide that pit lane is. Take a look at some guys as they come out on the track. Working on trying to adjust some cameras so we can get you some different looks during the race, like a blimp cam and so forth. So I'm currently researching on how to edit cam files, or the cam language, I should say. John Pox as he makes his way down the pit road. Jair Oliveira. All right, well, enough messing around here. We're getting ready to go green. Thanks for joining me on my little copter ride around the track. So things are about ready to get busy here. We're following the 28 car and the 65 cars. They make their laps here. And this is the real deal now. Here we go. Getting ready to take the green flag. Guys are getting some last minute instructions here to get to their cars. Looks like we only got 16 guys in the race here right now. I'm not sure if we've lost a few. All right, so Toby Keith.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, singer, songwriter, megastar, and Ford truck band, Toby Keith.
It's time to get in, sit down, shut up, hold on, drivers, Start your engine!
Looks like that 54 car is waiting until the very last second to get in his car. He's going to save all the gas he can. I get you. I know exactly what you're doing there, buddy. All right. 54 of Ed Palumbo is going to be our pole sitter here. Starting in the second position is the 28, Travis Joyner. 82 of Tim Lansbury starts in the third position. The 90 of Todd Robillard starts in the fourth position. The 2 of John Pox starts in the fifth position. 65 of Dan Richter starts in the sixth position. Seventh position is the 20 of Terry Killigrew. 71 Jim Barasoff starts eighth. The 4 of Joe Miller starts in the ninth position. Rounding out the top 10 is the 85 of Tom McKeever. Guys are warming up their brakes. Some of them probably trying to get those tires, a little heat in those tires as well, but definitely want to warm up your brakes because you got to get hard on the brakes getting into the turn. So here we go, 70 laps. The main event in the Friday Night Series High Octane Racing League. Ed Palumbo sits on the pole, Travis Joyner on the outside as they take the green flag. Travis Joyner fighting hard here, and we saw these guys battling in that second heat race, and that Travis Joyner fighting hard on the outside. 54 of Ed Palumbo down on the inside is going to let him go. So not fighting quite as hard as they did in that first heat race. The guys are going to save their stuff here for the end. This is the big daddy here, the points race, so no more messing around. 65 of Dan Richter looked like he might have gotten into the wall there coming off the turn. 2 laps in. Not sure how hard that damage was. 65 of Dan Richter makes contact with the wall. So far, it doesn't seem to be affecting his car too much. Get our times here. Kind of monitor him throughout this run and see if he's able to maintain the pace that the leaders are. So back up here with the 28 car, Travis Joyner, Next Level Racing Ford, sponsored by Liberty University here. Mount Vernon, Illinois native. It's the field. We're on lap 3. Take a look at this battle here. Looking at Tim Lansbury, Dan Richter, Todd Robillard. It's 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then we got John Pox as well. So that 4th place car, Tim Lansbury, 82, running in the 4th position, followed by John Pox. And you see John Pox gets down low there. Take a look and see if he's able to recover that. John Pox. Trying to find John here. It's not as easy as you think. There we go. John Pox gets his car back on the track here. We're going to see if we can't figure out what happened with John. Take a look at that once again here, the trackside camera. John gets in hard here, and you see he just can't get his car wood up. He was a little high there in the turn and lost the back end. And he's going to drive the road course here at New Hampshire. Gets back on the track. Excellent job of being able to keep that off the wall, get that back in the race. So currently following the 51 car. Keith Chestnut here currently running in the 14th position. So John Pox, that 2 car spins and does not make contact with anything, doesn't bring out a caution. So excellent job being able to get that car back on the track. But I'm sure he, in the back of his mind, is thinking, man, I need to get into the pits here. I do need a yellow flag. I just don't want to be the cause of it. I do need a yellow flag so I can get in here, get some fresh tires, get back in the hunt. So you see the 2 car, John Pox, out the front of his car here as he looks ahead at the 51 of Keith Chestnut. Sorry, Keith. See John getting in a little bit on the high side there, and see if he gets a better run. He's going to pedal to the gas as he comes out. He's got to really get out of that gas as he comes off the turn, because again, his tires are probably hurting from spinning out. He might even have a vibration there. You see he's having some other issues there, and he spins again. Again, old tires. He's just probably going to have to come into the pits and get fresh tires. Again, no damage and no caution flag, so the number 2 of John Potts now back out here on the racing surface. But I would guess that John Potts is probably going to come in, cut his losses, and come in here to make a pit stop. So back up here with our race leader. He's got a 1.1 second lead. It's Travis Joyner leading Ed Palumbo by 1.153 seconds right now. Travis Joyner very strong tonight, won our first heat race. Running in the second position is the 54 of Ed Palumbo, heat race winner number 2. Heat race 2 winner, I guess. 90 of Todd Robillard, and in the third position. Look out the front of Todd's car, and you can see that 54 of Ed Palumbo just ahead, and then ahead of him, Travis Joyner. Todd Robillard and Ed Palumbo been able to close the gap there a little bit on that 28 car. So slightly different lines there. Ed is really up high, and I'm not sure he's liking the grip. See him get a little bit loose. So that 90 car is running in that third lane, and that 54 car is up running in the fourth lane. There's a battle there for second place. Todd Robillard in the third position. 54 of Ed Palumbo running second. Fourth place is the 82 of Tim Lansbury. Choosing to run that second lane there through the turn. Now he slides up into that third lane. So Tim Lansbury so far having a good night, running in the fourth position. Fifth position is the 65 of Dan Richter. We saw Dan make contact with the wall a little bit earlier this evening. It doesn't seem to have affected his car really. He's still got his car up front here, running in the fifth position. The sixth position is the 85 of Tom McKeever. You see him using that second lane there as he gets through the turn. So guys are wanting to try to stay away from that high side because it is slick up there. So the 85 Tom McKeever currently running 6th. 7th position is the 71 of Jim Barasoff, CT Racing Bud Light Chevy there as he comes off the turn. So he's running a slightly different line, just about a half a lane down. See him down into lane 1 now. And we see that 108, or that 8X, the 133 of Robert Martin had to come in and get some word maybe the yellow flags aren't turned on here. That's 71 of the Jim Barasoff running in the 7th position. That would definitely be a turn of events if we don't have any yellow flags here turned on. So the 8th place car is the 4 of Joe Miller. Jimmy John's Ford Fusion currently running 8th. In the 9th position is the 12 of John Stanley. Moving his car around the surface here in the 9th position. 10th position is the 20 of Terry Kelligrew. ACDC sponsored Toyota Camry. See him losing the low line. Through the turns. I know a lot of guys again are trying to avoid that high side because it is really slick up there. So right now the 20 back up here with the 54. We're hearing some handling issues. 54 talking about a loose condition maybe. 11th place car is the 157 of Jair Oliveira. Twelfth place position is the 51, Keith Chestnut. So far tonight, Keith keeping his car clean. He's currently running in the 12th position. 13th position is the 49 of Ivan Deschamps. You see him get it in the brakes there, so he got on the high side, he got on that brakes, and you saw the white smoke as he entered the turn. He's currently running in the 13th position. 14th position is the 108 of David Rowley. Just crosses the start-finish line there on lap 21. You see him also lock up that those back tires as he gets into the turns. Well, it looks like John Pox has retired his machine and then running in the 16th position, 7 laps down. He had a stop and go. The 8X shown on the grid is the 133, and we see the 28 and the saw him come back up on the racing surface in the 108 and the 28 car. Man, the leader almost. You see that 8X having some issues there up in the wall. The 12 of John Stanley goes by on the low side. See Tom McKeever spun around here. This is a little bit earlier, but through the grass, and don't hear any yellow flag come out. So is he able to get his car back on the racing surface? Looks like he is. Not sure if yellow flags are on, but we'll find out from racing control. Sounds like the yellow flags are not on, so the 28 car car of Travis Joyner leading the field here, lap 24. So this race is going to go pretty quickly if we don't have any yellow flags on, huh? Gotta get all of my advertisements in while I can. So wanted to try a new feature here real quick. We'll see how this works. Lap 25. We were talking about last week who our race winner was. Look at the standings here, sorry. Todd Robillard won our race here. We're going to take a look at some video here and see if this actually works. Trying a few true things here. Let's see if we can call it up. Yeah, so Todd Robillard makes that pass on the last lap and then holds off the 28 car for the race win last week at Kentucky. So what an exciting race that was. So yeah, it looks like that did work all right. All right. So I will be able to go back and find the specific spot in the race that I broadcast, assuming that I am able to broadcast that race, and show you a replay there real quick of the last, of the, at least the winner crossing the start-finish line. Car leading the field here on lap 28. So You know, I am getting the word that somewhere around lap 34-ish, 35 is the pit window. So we got to be expecting guys to be making some pit stops here fairly shortly. Take a look at the second place machine of Ed Palumbo. Man, that second, third, fourth place battle there is tight between those three guys. So Ed Palumbo, 54, currently running second. The 90 of Todd Robillard currently running third. And the 82 of Tim Lansbury is in the fourth position. So a very tight battle between these guys. And you can see, take a look out of the front of Ed Palumbo's car. See that 108 of David Rowley just ahead there. He was a lap car. So Ed Palumbo wanting to get by him probably as cleanly as possible. Currently Ed is 4.5 seconds down from Travis Joyner in the 28. So you hear him pedal to the gas as he comes off the turn. Man, that car is tight coming off the turn. To the loose end. And maybe that was a little bit loose off. Might be a loose tight, huh? Tight loose. 54 there. 90 running close together, so the 54 and the 90 fast in different parts of the track. You see the 90 is going to start looking low here. So the 90 of Todd Robillard going to look to make that pass, and the 54 car is not going to fight him right now. The 54 actually coming back. So the 90, I don't think intended to do a slide job there on the 54 car, but nonetheless, that's what happened. 90 car takes over that second position. So now we're going to start seeing the green flag pit stops as we approach our pit window. And now we're following the second place car, the 90 of Todd Robillard. And I'll tell you what, that battle for third, Tim Lansbury and Ed Palumbo, and is a tight battle that's on the track right now. So you see Tim Lansbury's slightly different line. He's running a lower line than the 54. Comes off a little bit higher in the turn, so very close to the wall. You see 65. Dan Richter gets into that wall again. Dan Richter fighting that car there, coming off the turns and making contact with the wall. I'm not sure if it's hard enough contact to really cause any damage, but nonetheless, he's making some contact once in a while with the wall. We've seen him early in the race do that as well. So now we see that 4 car of Joe Miller starting to look on the inside of the 65 car. So it's a drag race down the straightaway into the turn. So is the 4 car going to be able to hold it down there? So these guys battling here for position. Now the 4 car, we're hearing the 4 car may be making a pit stop. So as this battle unfolds here, the 4 car is going to come into the pits and get 4 fresh tires. Again, these are green flag pit stops because I do not believe the caution flags have been turned on. So it looks like the 4 car of Joe Miller made his pit stop now. It's on his way back out on the racing surface. So we saw him battling for position with the 65 of Dan Richter. Right now we're following the 82 of Tim Lansbury, who is currently our race leader. Just behind him is the 54 of Ed Palumbo, and Ed has already made his pit stop. So the 82 of Tim Lansbury has not pitted. Go through the pits here and you see Tim Lansbury, Dan Richter, Keith Chestnut, Jim Barasoff. Our top 4 have not pitted yet. Now the 82 car is coming into the pits. And 54 of Ed Palumbo loses a little control of his car there. I'm not sure what happened here, so we'll jump up here with Ed Palumbo and see if we can't figure out what. See what caused his issues here. We're going to be a little bit too late in the action, but at the 54, it might have gotten his car a little squirrely here. I'm not sure if this is yeah, you see him, man, he just gets loose. Wow, and he makes contact, hard contact with that inside wall. Man, a heck of a save there. That 54 car spins his car around and hits that inside wall. And a hard contact with that inside wall. Probably has left front damage now. Certainly have a flat spot a little bit of his tires. And I don't know how much force feedback he has turned on, but if he does, he's got some vibration. Travis Joyner, our current race leader here, as he goes around the 108 car. So 28 of Travis Joyner continuing to lead the race here after green flag pit stops. These are all green flag pit stops. Continuing to lead the race here as we start lap 43. So I told you this race is going to go by in a hurry here. 70 laps and no yellows. Get some guys on the camera here. Currently following the 20 car, Terry Kelligrew. Turns laps here on lap 43. He's currently in the 8th position. '85 of Tom McKeever, currently running 9th. That battle right there is starting to get a little tighter here. Also with the 7th place car, John Stanley, currently running 7th. He is 18.2 seconds. You see the 133 car getting up into the wall. So the 133 car, the 8X paint scheme. He's getting up into the wall there. You see how he makes contact with the wall. John Stanley, currently running 7th, now goes around on the high side, so it's number 12 car running 7th. Just behind him is the 8th place car, Terry Kelligrew. Take a look out of the back of John Stanley's car. See Terry Kelligrew back there in that black car, number 20. Followed by Tom McKeever in the 85. So that is 8th and 9th positions that we're looking at. Again, here he pedaled the gas. John Stanley pedaled the gas as he comes off the turn. Looking at the 71 car, Jim Barasoff running in the 10th position here on lap 47. 71, Jim Bearsoff currently running 10th, and you see the 65. Dan Richter, who's in 5th position, is looking to go around. 71 car. 71 car, first car a lap down. So just behind him, there's a 65 of Dan Richter, who's currently running in the 5th position. Gonna jump back here with the 6th place car now of Tim Lansbury. Kind of the front of Tim's car, and you can see Jim Bearsoff ahead there on the low side. Dan Richter just passed Jim on the high side. The battle I want to watch here on the track is take a look at Dan Richter as he works on the 54 of Ed Palumbo, who runs just ahead. So the 65 of Dan Richter looking to take over that 4th position as he starts to close the gap on the 54 car. You see the back end of Dan Richter's car gets a little bit loose as he entered that turn. It's hard to get that car. I'm going to tell you, long straightaways, tight turns, flat turns, and that car is going to get a little loose coming in. Hard on the brakes. See the 65 still continues to close the gap on that 54 car. So now they're going to battle for position. So the 54 and the 65. The 65 is going to commit to the high side. Going to show a strong pass here if he can make it around on the high side, and the 54 is going to give him room, let him go. So the 54 lets the 65 go, takes over the 4th position. Dan Richter continuing to move up. Guy we haven't talked a lot about in this main race is the 4 car of Joe Miller, Jimmy John's Ford Fusion. Running in the 2nd position, 1.8 seconds back. Now we start looking at the laps clicking away here. We've got to think that these guys have probably about 10 more laps. Maybe, don't know if they can go the full distance. Some may be trying, but I'm not sure these front runners here can go the full distance. Be curious to see. That's roughly around lap 32, 33 was their pit stop. Some guys may try to stretch it, but I don't think that's going to happen. So right now, Joe Miller continues to close the gap, but you see just ahead, Travis Joyner having some issues here with some lap traffic. So Travis Joyner catches the 49 car, goes around him, and that's caused him a little bit of time, costed him a little bit of time. Joe Miller running in the 2nd position is 1.3 seconds back now. You see Travis Joyner running high there, coming down low, so he's one of those guys who's brave enough to go up on that high side. Okay, now that lead is down to 1.1 seconds, so Joe Miller and that 4 car is continuing to chip away at this lead. See, Joe Miller now in the 2nd place car has caught Ivan Deschamps, who is a lap car, and he's having a little trouble getting around the 49. So now he's going to go around on the low side, but that's cost him a little bit of time, about 4/10. So we're getting more lap traffic here, so we're going to jump up here with the 28 car as he goes through lap traffic, and you see he goes by the 157 car, and now the 8X down there on the apron. It's a good call. Not to get in the way of these leaders as they battle for position. Travis Joyner gets loose coming off the turn. In one of those tight loose conditions, you can see the car wanting to drift up by the wall, but then the back end comes loose as you really sort of struggle to keep that car going left. And the 28 of Travis Joyner, has hit the wall there on lap 57, so he makes contact with the wall. Joe Miller's 1.5 seconds back, so Joe Miller having some issues of himself with some lap traffic. And we're going to take a look out at the back of Joe Miller's car, who's running 2nd at the 157 car, who he just got around. So Joe Miller having to navigate lap traffic as well, and that's cost him some time. Come back up here with Travis Joyner, and for the moment, Travis Joyner's got a pretty clean and green racetrack. about a quarter of a straightaway up as a lap car that he's going to be having to deal with here relatively shortly, and that's 20 of Terry Killigrew. And I would doubt that Travis Joyner's going to have many problems here from Terry probably pulling over and letting him go. You see 20 of Terry Killigrew having some issues there late in this run. Again, this is real late in the run. We're now riding with the 20 car as he makes his laps. Here he's running in the 9th position. Currently the last car on the lead lap. Another battle I want to watch here is the 65 and the 82 as they go around the 51 car. 51 car, Keith Chestnut is currently 6 laps down. So the 65 car is in the 5th position, running there closely with the 82 of Tim Lansbury, but Tim Lansbury is able to get around. Jump up here with Tim. He's able to get around the 54 car, the 51 car, and open up a little bit of a gap. Now we've got 10 laps to go, up a little bit of a gap on the 65 car. Now back up here with the 28 car, Travis Joyner. This is now reeling in that 20 car. Put him a lap down. So Travis Joyner has been able to open up his lead here on Joe Miller to 3.2 seconds. So right now, Travis Joyner just making some laps, hoping that he doesn't get caught up in any incidents. Doesn't have to worry about a yellow flag coming out, so no yellow flags. 3.5 second lead on the 2nd place car of Joe Miller. And here we are riding along here with Joe Miller on lap 63. You saw Joe Miller was Joe was sort of chipping into that lead early on, ran into some lap traffic, had a little bit more of an issue with some of the lap traffic than maybe what the 28 car did, and has not been able to make up any more time. In fact, has fallen back a little bit. The 90 car, Todd Robillard, has had a good night. He is currently running in the 3rd position, 6 seconds down. See him just get by the 157 car. Todd Robillard, that Mountain Dew Chevy, having a good points night here in the 3rd position. You might recall that Todd won the race last week, so looking to maintain a strong position in the points. 82 of Tim Lansbury is going to look to go by the lap car of Ivan Deschamps. Joe Miller here now going to try to make this pass on the 20 car. And let's see if that is going to affect him, and can Joe Miller cut into this lead while the 28 car tries to fight to get around the 20 car. So you see him get loose. So the 28 of Travis Joyner. It has not cost him too much time, so he's lost about 3/10 on that lap. But did he flat spot his tires? Does he have enough gas? That's the other question. Does he have enough gas to be able to make it to the end? Is he going to have to do a splash and go? So can these guys go 35 laps, at least 35 laps on fuel? So Travis Joyner and Joe Miller running 1-2. Joe Miller's 3.2 seconds back. Travis Joyner running in the 1st position, leading the race here, lap 67. Looking to pull off a victory. Got a solid pit stop. Now run just clean laps. Been able to navigate that lap traffic a little bit better than Joe Miller. Joe Miller's starting to cut into that lead just a little bit, so he's down to 3 seconds. But does he have enough time? The question is, if something happens here to Travis Joyner, some lap car gets in the way, or if he's loses it just a little bit, will Joe Miller be close enough to be able to make anything of this with basically just 2 laps to go. Travis Joyner, as he navigates through turns 3 and 4 to take the white flag here for the last lap. Travis Joyner, solid race. He won our first heat race. Started up front in the 2nd position for the main event. And he's going to walk away here if he can navigate around here on this last lap. Going to be able to walk away with this race win. So down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. 28 car. Travis Joyner, Next Level Racing Ford. Sponsored by Liberty University. Rounding turn 4. Down the straightaway. Crossing the start-finish line, and Travis Joyner going to pull off the win here. New Hampshire Speedway. Excellent job, Travis Joyner. Travis Joyner had a nice solid race, and we saw him battling very hard during both of the heat races. Certainly heat race number 2, but Travis Joyner going to burn him down here in this Travis Joyner going to burn those tires off here to win this as he celebrates his victory here at New Hampshire. We'll be excited to get him up in the replay booth. And the 82 of Tim Lansbury saying, "Hey man, I just want to get my car through." So in 2nd position, Joe Miller. 90 of Todd Robillard finishes 3rd. Tim Lansbury finishes in the 4th position. Dan Richards 5th. Tom McKeever finishes 6th. Ed Palumbo is 7th. John Stanley finishes in the 8th position. Terry Kellegrove finishes 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Jim Barasoff. So congratulations to Travis Joyner. There's somebody revving their engine there. All right, so we're going to give you an idea of what's coming up here in the next few days. So tomorrow, Daytona International Speedway, the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder. 100 lap points race, 75% damage. That is going to be an awesome race to watch. Going to be some 2 and 3 wide battles, but also finding a partner, finding a group of guys to run with, and pitting when they do. Pit stop strategy is huge at Daytona. Coming up on Tuesday is the Next Level Racing Series Season 2, Race 3 at Michigan International Speedway. It's July 18th, the Next Level Racing Series on Tuesday. Well, I sort of skipped Sunday, but Sunday, July 23rd, according to the schedule. It's going to be the Brickyard 100 for the Men's Senior Racing League, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So come out and join those guys on Sunday. Wednesday is the Ironman Racing Series, Palm Springs Speedway. I believe that is Homestead, unless I'm told differently. That is going to be July 19th. Fixed setup. There's a tire rule there, so that's an interesting twist to the racing there at Ironman Racing Series. So big fields, getting tire rules. So be excited to see that race and bring that to you live on Wednesday. So our race winner, Travis Joyner, we're going to see if we can't get him up in the broadcast booth here, so give me just a minute. All right, we're going to grab Travis here. Thanks for being patient. I have to change a few things here. We'll show his 28 car. We'll grab him and bring him up to the broadcast booth for an interview. So Travis Joyner, our winner tonight. All right, Travis Joyner, this is Heath Johnson up in the broadcast booth. Man, you had a pretty event-filled heat races and brought it together there to bring home the victory there in the main race here. So tell us how your night went, how you were feeling about your car.
Oh yeah. Thank you. We definitely had a good piece tonight. First heat race, we snuck in a win there. Got our nose out in front when the caution came out. Second heat race, felt good. Got wrecked there at the end, but still felt good. Was really the high side of the track came in, and that was a place to be, which was not what we was expecting. So we made some good adjustments before that last race, and we kept her on the high side. And well, I mean, yeah, we definitely hit the setup right on the nail, or nailed her.
Yeah, it looked like early on the high side was a little slick, and then so you're saying that as the race went on, the high side actually be the preferred line.
Yeah, it actually was. About that third lane up, we started out, the beginning of the run on the loose side, track bar adjustments and stuff. We had it where it loose, and I got that big lead before we went to before we pitted. And when we come out, I dropped it down. I was just being safe, and I noticed the number 4 car, he was catching us a little bit, so I bumped it up a little bit and spread out that lead again, put it back down, and like I said, just playing it safe. So. Definitely had a good piece tonight, good setup, and just
it was definitely a fun race to watch there. And man, the most events there I think that occurred in the main race was you just trying to navigate through the lap traffic. So talk a little bit about the challenges that you faced there.
Yeah, I would typically, they'll stay out of the preferred line, which normally here's low, so they may, a lot of them were confused where the leaders wanted to be and stuff, and we were that on top of I was catching them at such a rate of speed, it's so much faster. I don't think they had time to react. I know one time we got into a lap car, and really just navigating through it was kind of scary, kind of hairy, and but I mean we did it all right, and still kept far enough away from the second place car that. It really didn't, come to account, I guess, for the race. So, definitely tricky, but we did.
All right.
Well,
congratulations on the race win, and would also like to ask: Are you going to be racing Saturday evening at Daytona?
Actually, no, we can't make it down there. We've got some other obligations with sponsorship and stuff like that where we can't make it down for. Saturday Night League, but we'll be back around on Tuesday night for the Next Level Racing League, and also Next Level Racing, I believe, is going to start up some stuff on Thursday nights.
Awesome. On Tuesday night we have Michigan International Speedway. Talk a little bit about how you feel about that track that's coming up on Tuesday with the Next Level Racing Series, race number 3.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to Michigan. We have just a really good setup for there. We do really well there. We actually tested there earlier this year and found some stuff, and just really like the big wide track, wide open, or not wide open, but just fast and just a lot of room and like I said, we did some testing there, found some stuff. So really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to.
Well, we'd like to thank you also for putting on that event on Tuesday, and then for the work that you're doing there to maybe bring us another night of racing there on Thursday. We really appreciate it. And I'd like to say again, congratulations on the race win, and we're going to be excited to see you and broadcast the race on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks for what you do. We like having you here. And,
all right, congratulations, Travis.
Having some good racing. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that was Travis Joyner. You hear that he's got some more racing in store coming up on Tuesday with the Next Level Racing Series. We'll pop their banner up here again. Michigan International Speedway on July the 18th with the Next Level Racing boys. And they've got some knockout qualification format there, and it's going to be some exciting racing. It always is with Next Level Racing, so hopefully you're able to check out some of the videos of NLRS on our YouTube channel here. And we'll be excited to see you guys out and join Travis and the gang for some laps there at Michigan on Tuesday. Well, that's going to conclude our broadcast this evening. So we like to again to congratulate Travis Joyner on his race win. So a very challenging track at New Hampshire, and he was able to, we saw he had a strong car all night long, won the first heat race, was running up front before a little bit of trouble there in the heat race number 2, but he came back in the finale and brought home the victory. So we saw he was probably the best car all night long, and as they say, the best car doesn't always win, but tonight I think it did. So Travis Joyner, congratulations. That will conclude our broadcast here for TurnLeftTV, and I've been your host, Heath Johnson. So thank you so much for joining us, and until next time.